Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So I want to decorate and do some fun mixed media stuff on my signatures here. I have all these little signatures that I got all folded and ready to go. And it's for my feather journal that I've been making with you guys. And it turned out really cool. So this started off with a snippet. This is a snippet roll. And I'll make sure to put that on the end screen so you guys can see how to make the snippet roll. The feathers cluster, I'll put on the end screen, show you guys how to make that. It's really cool. Also, I'll put the link down below how to, if you guys want to come purchase one of these feather clusters from my Etsy shop. So it's pretty cool. Okay, and then I also showed you guys how to add the snaps and add this on there. So I'll try to put that on the end screen, and how to add all this. I did the stenciling. It's this huge feather. I love this feather. I'm having so much fun. So it's incorporated throughout this journal, is the theme of it, is this really cool feather. And this will be in my Amazon links, so I'll show you guys that if you want to come check it out. But it's so cool. I mean, we did it over the little tuck here, so we can tuck in papers. So that's the inside of it. And then this just wraps around. And it's got two different sizes here. So you can do it on a smaller size. And then when it grows, you can go a little bigger with it. Just like that. So yeah. So we're going to make some signatures for this journal. And I'll put that to the side. And what I have here is all kinds of stuff. I got my Rit dyes, just some blue. I think this is aquamarine. This is just water in case I need it. This is, I think, wine. It's Rit dye. It's either wine color and black, I think is what I mixed together. So we might throw some of that in there. And let me move this out of the way. Some crackle. Got some crackle paste. I'm going to mix up some instant coffee and water with you guys, because that'll be a fun splatter. Maybe throw in some classic caramel color. Some white gesso. Some black. Maybe some white, but I'll just use my gesso probably. And we need water, and then a paintbrush, which I got my fan brush I'll get in a minute. Stencils. I got like 100 of these, and they're just cute little, just pretty little stencils. And you got like hummingbirds, and so you get like insects and flowers and different things like that. And this will be down below, so you can check it out. Also want to throw in some of my fun, I took some acrylic paints and stenciled onto a bunch of, let me grab it, my tissue bakery paper here. It's pretty much deli paper, and it's really great. I love this stuff, and you can just grab it out, use it, do whatever you want, get your paints on it, and it works great. I love it. I loved gluing this down. So I also have my glue and water mixture, which is, this is just Elmer's glue and water. It's 50-50. So we'll be able to glue this down onto the pages. Do some splattering. Have some fun with that. Okay. So now, oh, and also some stencil. I got a bird stencil here too. So I got these down below. It's a whole set. So come check everything out, because this is going to be a fun time. Okay. So let me get started here. All right. So we'll start off with making our coffee mixture, and this is just a dark roast. It was just whatever's cheap at the store. It's not like we're not drinking it. So I'm just gonna dump some in, and then just add some water. I want it pretty dark, so you just cover it and shake it. Let's get it all mixed up. There we go. Look at that. That's a good color, right? Okay, so we're just gonna have fun here. So I think that's a good mixture. So I'm gonna put that to the side until I need it. Okay. Now, my stencils out of the way. So I'm gonna go through and let's find some fun. I'd like to live life. That's great. The alphabets. I love the alphabets. They're fun. Let's just find some different little shapes and stuff. I'm just going to rip pieces out and take my glue and water mixture here. Okay. There, and just give it a good mix. When it sits for a little bit, just mix it up. Okay. And we're just going to start decorating. So just whatever you got, just start gluing it down. I mean, honestly, if you think about it too much, then you're going to mess up. So just don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just do it. So we got that. That's my motto. So I'm just going to grab pieces and start gluing down. No rhyme or reason. Because these are going to be just great to play with. And these papers are a little too big for my journal, but that's fine with me because I'll use these for something. So I'm just going to decorate them all, get them how I want them, and then we'll cut it all to size and, you know, go from there. So I'm going to do this in a time lapse and just find different things and just start gluing stuff down. Okay, so I'm going to take my watered down gesso here. And it is this right here. So it's just my Liquitex, just white gesso. Okay, and I take my fan brush. So let's see, I like starting with the lighter colors because then it blends better. You know, like on my paintbrush, if I started with like the coffee and then went into the gesso, it would get my gesso coffee stained. So I'm just kind of messing around, really. Just getting some fun splatters. Now let's go with the coffee here. Just getting, I don't know, I just was in the mood just to kind of make them all grungy and kind of cool, you know. Just see what we can come up with. And I was thinking if they start curling up and you know, looking real curled up and stuff, I have a press for my papers, and this would be, you know, once they're all dry, you want to make sure they're totally dry, just put them in my press and press them all flat and then go from there. So it's kind of a process, you know, that you go through to do it all. But I like this process. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun little way to do things, you know. I'm throwing in some blues. Let's see. I'm just going to grab take my spray, do a spritz. And you can see right there. So that's a fun thing about Rit dye too, is you can just, you know, put your stencil down and do a little spritz. You just don't want to over spritz, you know, and then you can flip it. There we go. Because if you do too much spraying, it'll seep underneath and you won't see the image. So that's just the stamp part of it. So it's kind of fun. So you could go through and do that. You can also take, I got some of this, I think it would be fun, just the Distress Oxide Black Soot. You could even take that and kind of go like that. You know, just little splatters here and there. That, and then this is why I got my water. I know it's going to probably make my paper all, but look at that. It's going to make it all wrinkly, but just give it a little spritz and you can see it all run. And just kind of it all around. So that's kind of cool. There we go. Oh, rhyme or reason. Okay, so I'm liking that one. So I'm gonna set it over to the side. And so this one will be next. I think I'm gonna work on this side. And let's go ahead and put down. And what's cool with this deli paper is when you put it down, it just looks like you stenciled on the paper. Because it's kind of neat. That's why I had to go through and just make a bunch of them, you know, do some stenciling with my acrylics, and then I could just grab them and slap them down and, you know, put them where I want them. And these are great too. This is with my texture. If you guys seen any of my videos, I use spackling instead of texture paste, because texture paste, I mean, it's pretty expensive, and you can get this big old thing for pretty cheap at just a hardware store. And I mean, look, unless, I mean, you take it and really rink on it, it's going to come off, but it's pretty durable, you know, really. So I just take this, and you can just go around like that, and just put glue underneath and glue on top. And there you go. Another reason I like doing that is because, say I'm working on a project, and then I take my stencil and I put my stencil down on top of it and use my texture paste, and then take it off and go, oh man, I really don't like the way that looks. It's like, darn it. But this, if I don't like the way it looks, I just go like that, take it off, and then just move it where I want it. You know, it's a little less pressure, so that's why I like doing that. Okay, so we got that one, and I'm just gonna continue and decorate this up and see how it turned out. All right, so I need to grunge this up, and I want to grunge these up. I thought this was really cool. It's just a photocopy of a feather. Like the feather, that could be a cool side tuck. This could be part of a pocket or a tuck or something. So I'm going to go ahead and just splatter everything on here, take these off, and then do the rest of this. So that's the plan. I just glued this down, some of my deli paper here and stuff, and then I made sure it was dry with my heat gun. I mean, it might be a little tacky, but now I want to incorporate some fun feather stencil. Let me get it untangled real quick. Make sure you guys can see. And I want to lay it, I'm gonna lay it like this. And I'm gonna use my spackling. And I'm just gonna use spackling and spackle it down and see what comes out. So these turned out great. I think they turned out really cool. And what I want to do now, they're still kind of, I mean, they're wet, so I'm hoping they won't run too much, but I want to do some splattering on top of them. Just make them just a little grungy, you know? Let's give it a little something here. Okay. And I didn't tell you guys, but this is coffee. It's the same as this, but I put it in a spray bottle. So just a little spritzer here. Let some of that run. See, and it's going to start kind of, if you get too much moisture, or, you know, it's going to start forming all together. So just be careful, unless that's what the look you're looking for. So let's do some of that. All right, so I'm just having fun here. No rhyme or reason. Let's do a little bit of the gesso on it. Look at that. That is really cool. Okay. What do you guys think of that? That's kind of cool. So I'm going to set this over to the side and let it dry. Okay. So I went ahead and did some background. And I want to do my birds. My bird stencil. And I'm going to use some white paint. Just the acrylic. And I'm going to do my stencil brush. It's just a round brush with a flat top. Okay, so I did the stenciling here, and I think that turned out really cool with my stencil paintbrush. Now I want to show you guys a different way to do this, is with these cute touch-up kits that you can get like at Home Depot or somewhere like that's where I got mine. And they're great. They have little rollers, just like that. You can keep your paint in there, and then I go ahead and I put them in a Ziploc bag like that. And I have a black one and a white one. And these work great. So you just take your roller, and it's just a fast, quick way to do it. So I wanted to show you guys different ways. You just take it and you roll it right on. And it's that easy. And there we go. So it's a way faster way to do it, and I think it turns out really cool. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And make sure to wash off your stencils in between so you don't keep the paint on them. So show you guys real quick. I like to take it and take just some of my deli paper that I have here and just turn the stencil over and do a stamp with it, just so you don't waste the paint. And then you got that. Once it dries, that's fun to play with too. So that's a little tip and trick I wanted to show you guys. All right, so I want to show you guys the end result to these, and I think they turned out great. Okay, so we got that one. I just think they turned out so fun. And it's just to get out all your little paints and dyes and texture pastes and all kinds of stuff. So those are going to be fun to play with. That one's a little wet, but man, isn't that fun? Let's see, so you got, that one's cool. And this is our stamp, the one that after we stenciled on top. I just turned it and stamped it onto the deli paper, and that turns out really neat. The feathers are cool. I think for the journal, I'm going to cut it this way and fold them like that, and then we can have little pages in there. So that'll be great. And you could just take a, lined paper. And this was already avocado dyed, but it's just fun to add some splatters and some different textures to it. So you can see here that this one is the birds that I stenciled on, and then, yeah, so they're just really fun to play with. And this just brings interest to your pages and your journals. So you can sit and make a bunch of these and have them ready to go into your journals. And this is my coffee dyed. You crumple it up and do the coffee on it, and it turns out really cool. I call it like my marble coffee. If I remember, I'll put it on the end screen. Remind me if I don't, and I'll show you guys how to make that. It's pretty fun. It's a fun little project there. And just more splatters. And yeah, I think this turned out really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informational. And if you could please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell on you guys to see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. And keep on crafting.